Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rain if you're new here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be just finishing up some spreads in my sketchbook. I have a bunch of spreads that I've done only one side of, and I've been wanting to finish them for quite a while now. And I'm still struggling a little bit with some art block and just not feeling really motivated to draw anything in particular. So I thought this would be a really good week to just finish up some spreads. In the case of this one, I've had this one sketched out for quite a long while and I just haven't taken the time to paint it. So I am just starting, as you could see, starting off with the girl like I always do. And then I wanted to really quickly touch up this yellow background on the side I did a long time ago. That spread, both like the already completed sides of the two spreads I paint in this video, are on my YouTube channel somewhere. Pretty much everything in the sketchbook I have filmed. I think literally everything in the sketchbook I have filmed and are on my channel in a video somewhere. But anyway, every time I like flip through my sketchbook, I always see that yellow, the spots in that yellow background I missed, and it drives me nuts. So I wanted to make sure I actually painted that and got that finished while I was on the process of doing the left side of the spread. But I also thought this would be a really good example and a good way for me to see how much I've improved in my painting, and also maybe see some areas I could improve more. So of course the first thing I noticed is I'm like so much more comfortable just putting down color on a page. I used to always be so nervous, and I would start really light and then slowly build up my color until I had it as dark of a value as I wanted it to be, or as vibrant of a value as I wanted it to be. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you've definitely heard me talk about that, because I was consciously aware I was really nervous of it. So I'm super happy. Even as soon as I started painting this, I knew immediately wow, I already am making this so much more vibrant than the other side, than I was comfortable to do on the other side at the time. So I'm really happy to see that is definitely something my skill has gotten better in, and that's something that I really wanted to work at. So I'm glad that I've worked at it enough and have gotten to be more comfortable doing it. Something else about this spread is I remember when I painted the right side of this page, or the right side of the spread, I did not like this painting at all. I didn't like this spread at all. I don't particularly still love it even after I'm done with it, but I am glad to look at it and see that it's all done and not have half of it be in pencil anymore. I also felt like it was just very messy when I first did it. I remember feeling really rushed, and I felt kind of rushed doing this side as well. So it ended up a little messy as well. So I guess this is just a messy spread, but I do like that this left side ends up, I don't know, it's for some reason she reminds me a little bit of do you guys know the Barbie My Scene dolls? I'm sure those are not still a thing, but when I was younger, those used to be a thing. Also, real quick, my mom gave me more of these glitter dots, and I really wanted to use them. And so I was showing the card. So there's the shop name on that. If you are interested in buying them, you can pause the video and look up the shop on Etsy. But my camera was not in focus while I was painting with them. So you can kind of see the glitter a little bit here on her earrings. And she's also wearing a belt around her skirt. But for some reason, that glitter just never shows up well while I'm filming it. But I promise you, it is absolutely beautiful in person. So if you are somebody else who also enjoys adding glitter to your artwork, I'd highly, highly recommend them. And it's supporting a small business, which is awesome. This also had been the first time I had lined with colored pencil in a super long time. And it just made me happy to think how much more comfortable I am using watercolor and how much more confident I am in my lines. Anyway, though, for some reason, this girl on the left side that I'm working on here in this video reminded me so much of a Barbie My Scene doll. I don't know why, if it's the colors or her outfit, but she just made me think of that. So I do really love that part of this spread. And then I really quickly just wanted to add some washi tape and decorate it and add some yellow on that left side, since that pop of yellow is so eye-catching on the right side. But this is how she turned out. Like I said, still not my favorite spread in my sketchbook, but one I am super glad to have completed. And then here I'm going to work on finishing out this spread. As you can see on the left side of the page, I already had sketched out. I knew I wanted to do some strawberries. So I wanted to sketch that out again on actual watercolor paper because I knew I wanted to do a lot of blending and layering. I already knew like what colors I wanted to use and everything before I started painting this. So I knew I wanted to do watercolor paper to make sure everything would blend well and just be easier to work with. And I wouldn't get muddy or the paper wouldn't start pilling or anything because I knew I probably would end up using quite a bit of water, which as you can see, I am using my water brush. So I definitely did lay down a lot of water. I don't know if the Royal Talon sketchbook would have been able to handle it. I definitely don't think it would have looked as nice as it ends up looking on the actual watercolor. I also, like I said, have a video on my channel of that spread on the right side with the cat and the mouse and all the strawberry plants above them. That video, I remember that painting was very chaotic. So I think anything above, like anything I paint now is automatically improvement from that painting process because it was very much me not knowing what I was doing and just trying my best to make it not look bad by the end of the painting process. So but I do really love this spread. I love how this spread turns out too. This spread actually makes me really happy. I love how these strawberries turned out. I used mostly my Vintage Pastels palette. Here I was trying to make like the seeds on the strawberries and I did not like how they looked at all. So I went over with a clean brush with just water on them and really blended them out. And I end up being okay with how they look in the long run because of course watercolor dries softer than what it looks when it's wet. So they don't look quite as harsh. I don't know, I felt like they looked like a very harsh shape when everything else was very soft and just like painterly, and I was trying not to make anything too like any sharp lines in this. I wanted it all to be a very softly, like all softly defined, if that makes any sense at all. But anyway, I mostly used my Vintage Pastels palette for this, which I'm sure if you've been watching any of my videos, you know I talk about my Vintage Pastels palette in like every single video, but I really love that palette so much. I just love these colors. They make me very happy. I feel like art to me is very much a form of self-expression, and so my Vintage Pastels palette is very much like, it feels like I'm properly expressing myself through color, if that makes sense. Like I love pastels. I like to surround myself with pastels as much as I can. So I think that's one reason I do enjoy using this palette so much. But anyway, this also was a lot of, like I said, layering and just working a lot on those like little details that it feels like nobody will notice, but I knew were there. So I just was enjoying doing all of them. And then I decided to use my Posca pen. I wasn't originally planning on doing that, but I felt like it needed a little bit of white. And then here I just wanted to decorate the page and add a little bit more color. I also used more of those glitter dots. You can kind of see them here. Some purple and some pink on the strawberries. I just wanted to add more color to this spread because the other side is so colorful. But that was how this side turned out, this spread turned out. There you could see a little bit of the glitter. If you are still watching, as always, thank you so much for watching to the end. I will see you in the next one. Remember to be kind and stay cozy. Bye!